Hello and welcome to MBTV. I'm your host, Gini Narula. Today we have a fascinating discussion in store. Joining us is Mr. Ajitesh Korupolu, CEO of ASBL Group, headquartered in Hyderabad. In our conversation, Mr. Ajitesh will share valuable insights into Hyderabad's dynamic residential real estate market. It's a pleasure to have you with us, Mr. Ajitesh. I would like to begin by asking that how has Hyderabad's real estate market evolved over the last few years and what are the trends you foresee shaping its future?
Firstly, Guinea, thank you so much to you and your Magic Bricks team for interviewing us. So to answer your question directly, see, the Hyderabad real estate has been doing wonderful, right? And the prices have also risen, and the overall sales volume have doubled and tripled. Like last year, we sold close to 45,000 units. If I'm not wrong, that is the fourth or fifth in terms of volume pan India. In most of the top five cities pan India, every year there has been a decent price rise of around 8 to 10%. Let's say we are starting from 2010. Hyderabad, particularly because of the political ecosystem and the Telangana agitation before that. If you look from 2010 to almost 2015, 2016, right, there was hardly any prices. In fact, there was a prices were dropping. So once the state separation happened and the new government came in 2014, and it took a couple of years for the market to understand the government policies and the government is also very proactive, about the entire state economy. That is when slowly people started getting confidence, right? So from 2016 onwards, the journey started. So the entire 2010 to 2016 was a lull period, which got covered in a matter of 2017 to 2022, roughly around 5 years. But I would like to point out that we need to compare from a location to location basis. Like for example, you take Hyderabad's tier 1 market like the financial district in Kokapet, which is averagely selling around 10,000 rupees per SFT even today. And you take the same thing in Bangalore, the core of Whitefield and things like that, right? You there also it's selling around 12k, 12 and after 13k. Again, Whitefield is a very vast area, but you look at the tier 1 part of it, they're at 12 to 13,000. So that way we are still 20% behind Bangalore in terms of prices. So that's why I would say still we are very affordable.
Could you tell us a bit about your current projects and how are they different from the other projects in the market?
One, we have extensive understanding of technology, and we're using technology now to really research customer requirements and then design. So we conducted extensive surveys amongst all our prospective customers and anybody who's really interested to put forward their ideas. And then we realized that okay, these are the latest trends in their lifestyle. Right now, to support that trend, how does the physical space need to change? Post pandemic, almost most people, especially working in the services sector, are exposed to some format of hybrid work culture, right? So because of which two things happened. One, the people thought, okay, because I'm working from home, let me have another 300-400 square feet more. Hence, the bigger floor plan came in. Now, the con with that is if you're going for 400 square feet more, let's say in financial district at 10,000 rupees per year, you're spending 40 lakhs more. And second thing, that is the monetary impact. Next is the psychological impact of just staying in your house 24/7. And when we polled with our customers, many people did mention the fatigue and the boredom kicking in and all of that. So that's when we came up with the idea of, boss, why don't we give a co-working places right in the community? All right. One, it saves the buyer that 40 lakhs because you don't need that extra space. And second, you're no longer working out of just your home, and you're working out of a full-fledged co-working space which has got meeting rooms, all the office furniture, right? And you're meeting your different neighbors you're meeting in the work setup and all. Other very interesting point is around childcare, right? So in Loft we are giving one of the biggest, not one of the biggest creche in any gated community in the city. And when we even spoke with our customers, one mother mentioned that can the creche really provide service up to 7 in the evening, because she's a working mom and she needs the child needs to be taken care up to 7 in the evening. So all these finer details is what we have taken care, and we have developed our own research platform called udesign.com. So we are telling them, you help us in designing it. So we feel like we are in the hardware business. I don't think we are in real estate. We are in hardware business. Just like how any laptop company or Samsung or Apple makes their TV, there's a detailed product requirement, right? There needs to be enough processing capacity and all of that. we feel the same should happen with housing products, and that's how we are different compared to anybody
Yeah, I
else.
completely agree with you. You know, buyers have become very smart and they ask for sustainability and innovation.
Exactly.
So, how is ASBL incorporating these aspects? Like some of them, of course, you've talked about. So, what are the other aspects, if you could
See,
tell?
with regarding to sustainability also, right? So one is our entire with better use of technology, our material wastage is coming down drastically. So you are using less material, that itself adds to the environment. Point number one. Point number two, we again took a broad perspective that okay, from as a developer, what else can we add to sustainability? So by giving amenities much better, or what we call practical luxury, most of your daily requirements should be within 100 steps. Now, in no way we want to make people lazy, but we do want them to save up on all this on their time, and why to have excess carbon footprint. So that's the viewpoint what we are having on sustainability. Apart from the developing state of the art engineering practices, we do study the green norms and see how much of it is relevant, how much of it can be applicable to that site condition. But on top of that, I think better planning will greatly reduce the carbon footprint. So that's what our belief at ASBL is.
And you know, your designing is remarkable. I was just going through your brochure and reading about the badminton floors and the injury-proof floors, so which is absolutely remarkable. And then you were talking about the app which you're going to soon provide to the buyers. Could you talk a bit about that?
So the idea to this came like when we were like housing is one purchase where you pay first and then you use the product, and that too you pay a lot and use the product much into the future. So we found that there's a massive area where we can improve the customer experience there, and then we wanted to start sharing the work in progress. Okay, what has happened exactly on site? Can we do that on an instantaneous basis and on a real-time basis, so that people will know okay, this is what is happening. They're always well informed and they know their money is safe, and the anxiety levels also will be low, and that will naturally elevate the relationship between the developer and the customer to a much better level. So come Guinea, I'll take you to the site and I'll show you around.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Yeah.
So, Ajitesh, we had talked about Loft and you told me that the foundation has been laid. I can see that it has been laid. So, how much time is it going to take for the completion of the project?
So, Guinea, as you can see, so we have just finished excavation. So, we have dug up close to 50 feet. Right, and the foundation works is on both for Tower A and Tower B. We have just it's just started. So after the foundations there will be 4 basements, and after that there will be 45 floors on top. So totally we'll be casting 50 slabs, 4 underground and 45 above the ground. So and we are planning to finish this off in a record time. So probably in 2 years we intend to finish erecting the entire structure, and then maybe a year from there to handovers.
So is there any other information that a potential buyer or an investor should know about the project?
I would say, like, see, from a location standpoint, this is the best location in Hyderabad. This is financial district, so there are close to 50 plus MNC companies here, right? And the infrastructure, like a lot of schools, and even the road network is all like 100 feet roads and all. So people can, there's a good pedestrian footpath. So there's a lot of pedestrian activity which people can expect, and a lot of new restaurants coming up. So the entire social ecosystem, is bound to come up in the next couple of years by the time we finish Loft.
Right.
So as a brand also, we intend to stay in the prime markets, pick up the prime land parcels and do it at a record-breaking speed. So that will establish us as a prime time brand. So that's what we're looking at. And Loft would be, one such feather in that cap.
Right. So real estate market is highly competitive. I'm sure you would agree with me. So what are the strategies that the ASBL Group is employing to maintain that strong presence and reputation in Hyderabad?
Unlike most developers, we buy lands and we do. So we are not asset light, rather we are asset heavy. So we deliberately took to this strategy because what we were seeing in the asset light strategy is, one, the land acquisition itself is taking a lot of time. Second thing, that there might be some sort of hindrances from landowners in design, like they would want bigger sizes, whereas the market would not be very conducive for bigger sizes. So we have seen landowners involve also in the development process and thereby disturb the development process. And second thing, we have even seen from a taxation standpoint, compliance standpoint, if there are too many stakeholders, maintaining that compliance also is difficult. Like sometimes, some of the landowner might not want to pay GST or want to make it more efficient. It all runs into sort of crosses. So we didn't want to do any of that. So we simply go buy land and start working, right? So when we buy land, we cut down the land acquisition timeline. Typically, it takes like anywhere from 12 to 15 months. We are cutting it down to 3 to 4 months. So we're saving up a year there. So we can take the product to market much quicker. And then next thing, with our technology and the innovations what we have done, we are even able to reduce the timeline considerably. So our idea is, even if it's a 50-floor building, we should be able to hand over in 30 months.
Right. Now, coming to my final question, I believe you did your education from Purdue University, and then you won the Young Entrepreneur of the Year award as well. So what is your message to the young entrepreneurs out there? What are the do's and don'ts of real estate, if I may ask so?
I think the most important thing is transparency, right? Because as buyers, there will be a high level of anxiety because they're putting their hard-earned money out there, and it's a lot of it. So there will be that anxiety. So we need to be transparent in sharing, whatever they're asking for, and we need to be open if something is not happening. I think it's better to mention it right early so that it'll prepare them. They'll prepare themselves. And second thing is, I think one needs to be totally away from handling any cash, because real estate is a notorious sector known for cash handling. At ASBL, we do not take any cash, and that has really helped us in scaling the company. Today, I think the entire banking system is structured, and it's become so clean that if you're doing clean business, you will be rewarded very well by the financial system. And probably the third one, I would say, yeah, listen to the customer. 90% they're right. So the more we listen to them, the better we become. And I think these are some of the things what we implemented here.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Ajitesh, for talking to MBTV and sharing your perspectives.
Thank you, Namaste.
Thank you.